Project Zomboid's next build 42 is almost here, and while 42.19 might not look massive at first glance, this update is quietly fixing some of the biggest frustrations players have had with build 42 so far. We're talking controller customizations, player fixes, trait balancing, better driving performances, sound improvements, and even a major reversal from the indie stone regarding localization and community translations. And honestly, some of these changes could have a much bigger impact of the future of Project Zomboid than people may realize. So grab your emergency canned beans, barricade the windows, and let's break down everything coming to build 42.19. Localization changes. One of the biggest announcements in this update actually has nothing to do with gameplay. The Indie Stone is officially pivoting away from external localization teams and returning to community-driven translations. So for long-time Project Zomboid players, this is actually a pretty huge deal. The devs explain that when they originally stopped community translations, it wasn't because they disliked the system. Their internal workflow simply became too difficult to manage behind the scenes. But now, with newer developers experienced in large-scale localization systems, including setups similar to Minecraft Java Edition supports for over 100 languages, they believe they can finally make community translations work properly again. And honestly, this feels very Project Zomboid. Because Project Zomboid has always thrived because of its community. Mods, maps, balancing ideas, roleplay servers, challenge runs, translations. The game has basically evolved alongside its player base for years. And honestly, that's why I think this game is just so popular. The Indie Stone even admitted that switching to external localization risked losing a decade of iconic Project Zomboid terminology and community-created phrases that players had become attached to. That's actually a really important detail. A lot of survival games lose personality when things becomes too corporate or overly standardized, but Zomboid's weird charm, terminology, and community identity are a part of what makes the game feel alive. The devs also said the system fits better with their unstable beta workflow, because translators can constantly update phrases and fixes instead of waiting for strict localization deadlines. So overall, this is less of a technical update and more of a philosophy shift, if you would say. The community is becoming deeply integrated into Project Zomboid's future, and you know what? I love that. This update also brings a little bit of tweak to 2 occupational traits. Following up on the occupational changes that were made in 42.18, they're narrowing down the window on build 42 occupation and trait balancing. So far, the hunter trait now no longer gives +1 trapping, replacing it with +1 tracking, which better reflects a hunter's experience in identifying animal trails on their expeditions. The hiker trait now rewards +1 to both trapping and foraging, and is reduced in cost to be more accessible to a broader set of occupations and wilderness-loving survivors. Controller customization is finally here. Now, let's talk about one of the most requested features for controller players. Custom controller mapping is finally being added, and this is honestly something Build 42 desperately needed. Ever since the new aiming system got adapted for controllers, players have been asking for more flexibility with buttons layout, sensitivity, and accessibility options. Project Zomboid is an extremely interface-heavy game. You're managing inventories, combat, movement, crafting, vehicles, menu, radial systems, aiming mechanics, all while trying not to get eaten alive. That's already difficult on keyboard and mouse. So, controller players have been dealing with a pretty rough learning curve for quite some time now. And instead of endlessly tweaking default layouts, the Indie Stone decided to just let players fully remap controls themselves. And this opens the door for some genuinely interesting setups. The update even allows multiple actions to be mapped onto the same button. That means players could potentially create contextual layouts or highly customized control schemes depending on how they play. Now, yes, this also means some people are absolutely going to create cursed control configurations that break their game completely. But honestly, giving players freedom is probably the better option. The devs also mentioned they're actively looking for community-created layouts that could eventually become official presets later on. So, if you're a controller player, this update is probably one of the biggest quality of life improvements Build 42 have received so far. Multiplayer fixes and bug stomping. Now, onto the massive pile of fixes, and there are a lot of them. Animals are fully being distributed properly between male and female variants. Characters can once again hop over jersey barriers. I'm honestly not sure what they mean by that. Vehicle trailers apparently won't randomly flip themselves into another dimension during hookup anymore. And there's also a major sound effects polishing patch to improve inconsistent audio ranges and volume levels. But multiplayer players are probably going to care most about the desync and duplication fixes. The devs specifically mentioned firearm magazines disappearing during reloads, item duplication bugs, weapon condition desync between clients and servers. If you played unstable multiplayer builds recently, you already know how painful some of these issues have been. Desync in Project Zomboid can turn simple combat situations into complete chaos. 1 second your weapon is fine, the next second your condition is ruined, your ammo vanished, and somehow your friend duplicated 12 frying pans. So seeing multiplayer stability continue to improve is probably one of the healthiest long-term signs of Build 42 overall. Final thoughts. Build 42.19 isn't trying to reinvent Project Zomboid. This update is about stability, refinement, accessibility, and infrastructure. And honestly, that's probably what the game needs most right now. The flashy content additions are exciting, sure, but if multiplayer stays unstable, controllers feel clunky, and performance tanks in cities, none of the bigger future systems will matter. I personally can relate to this, as I tried to do a challenge in Louisville and I was sitting at 20 FPS, specifically in extinction mode. So, updates like this are important even if they don't immediately look dramatic on paper. The foundation is what truly matters. And right now, the Indie Stone seems fully focused on strengthening it before pushing Build 42 towards a stable release. But I want to know what you think. Are you more excited for the controller customization, the multiplayer fixes, or the trait balancing changes? And do you think Build 42 is finally getting close to stable, or are we still a long way off? Also, while coming to the conclusion of this video, it seems that there's another update that just dropped. So that update basically divulges way further in detail, and I will be covering that soon in the next video. Let me know in the comment section below. My name is Prince, and like and subscribe for more kick-ass content. Peace!